Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about if your TSP and other retirement accounts, are they safe from lawsuits? Are they safe from creditors? What if you go bankrupt? What happens to these accounts? Are they safe from things that happen? Now, if you're new here, so good to have you. My name is Dallin Hawes. I'm a financial planner who helps federal employees retire every single day, and I absolutely love it. So let's dive in. We know that retirement accounts have special rules, right? They have special rules because the government says, hey, these are for retirement, so therefore there's going to be special benefits and rules and drawbacks. But long story short, when it comes to talking about if your TSP or let's say IRAs are safe from creditors and lawsuits, there's a couple different things that come into play. First and foremost, TSP and 401ks, I'm going to put those into a similar bucket where these types of accounts are protected very heavily on the federal level. Okay? The federal government provides a lot of protection for these types of accounts where basically creditors, even if you go bankrupt, they really can't get into your TSP 401k. It's really not going to happen. Now, one thing that you have to know is not all lawsuits are safe from that. For example, if you are behind on taxes, if you have an IRS problem, guess what? They can go for any asset you have, including TSP 401k, doesn't matter, okay? If you have IRS problems, they can go for any of these stuff, no problem. Or if you have family problems, meaning, what about child support? What about divorces? All these sort of family sort of things, they can go after these sort of accounts, no problem at all, okay? But again, on the federal level, TSP and 401ks have a lot of protection against creditors and lawsuits. Let's say you get into a car accident. Let's say you have some creditors, you go bankrupt. The TSP and 401k on the federal level is very, very much protected. Now, are there exceptions to these things that may happen in court? Certainly, but the vast majority of the time, they cannot come anywhere near your TSP and 401k, okay? So that is TSP 401k. What about IRAs? Do they have the same protection that TSP and 401ks have? And the answer is no, not all the time. They still have a lot of protection compared to other assets. Retirement accounts in general, okay, have a lot of protection, and it is very difficult for creditors and people to get access to these things. But IRAs have slightly less protection. The rules vary a lot more by state. Some states say, hey, well, the first $1 million in their IRA is safe, but after that, can be accessed by creditors and lawsuits and different things. So it really depends on the state. But long story short, TSP 401k gets a lot of protection unless, of course, you have these sort of problems, taxes and family problems. If you have creditors or just lawsuits or a car accident, whatever it may be, TSP is going to be safe. IRA is most likely going to be safe. It depends on the state, though. Each state has different rules, and sometimes the state says, hey, look, the court will be able to decide how much money you need in your IRA to be able to retire comfortably, and anything above and beyond that amount would be accessible by some of these people. So it depends on the state. Again, these types of assets have way more protection than outside retirement accounts, but that is the rule in general. Now, when it comes to other protections you can have, just in case these things come up, is you can get what they call umbrella insurance. So umbrella insurance is basically a liability insurance that says, hey, if you get in a car accident, if you have a lawsuit, if something happens, that whatever liability insurance you have, whether through your car insurance already, your home insurance, if those sort of coverages are totally used up, an umbrella insurance is then going to kick in and pay up to whatever they're supposed to pay. Okay, so if you're really worried about this sort of thing, you say, hey, I've got these assets I really want to protect for whatever reason, then you can think about an umbrella insurance. Now, sometimes you can get umbrella insurance just through your current car insurance or your home insurance, or you can get a standalone policy. But again, if you just Google umbrella insurance, you'll find a bunch of information about it, basically adding on to how much money the insurance company would pay out before you actually are on the hook with your own assets for any of these sort of things when it comes to liability, especially creditors, lawsuits, those sort of things, okay? So I hope that's helpful. Hopefully that gives you some context. Long story short, retirement accounts are very protected as a general rule. TSP and 401k are slightly more protected. IRAs, it depends on the state. Some states are very protected by them. Some states are less so, and that's the scoop. So I hope that's helpful. Have an incredible rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.